What if I told you that good and evil are nothing more than words, labels, convenient tools used by those in power to shape the world the way they see fit? What if I told you that they don't actually mean anything, at least not in the way you've been taught to believe? Society loves to act as if there's a clear, definite line between good and evil, that there are heroes and villains, that some people are inherently righteous while others are born corrupt. But that's a lie, a carefully constructed illusion, because the truth is much simpler and much darker. Good and evil aren't absolute. They aren't universal truths written in stone. No, my friend, they are defined by those who have the power to decide. They are shaped by the ones who win. Look at history. Look at the rulers, the kings, the emperors, the conquerors. They all painted themselves as the good guys, and the ones they defeated, the ones who stood in their way, those became the villains, the rebels, the enemies. But did those people really deserve the label of evil? Or were they simply on the losing side of the story? Think about it. From the moment we're born, we're told what's right and what's wrong. Be kind. Follow the rules. Respect authority. And if you do all that, well, congratulations. You get to be one of the good ones. But what happens if you step out of line? What happens if you question the system? If you refuse to be just another cog in their machine? Suddenly you're not so good anymore. Suddenly you're dangerous. And that's when the labels change. That's when they start calling you a problem, a menace, a villain. The truth is, good and evil aren't about morality. They're about control. They're about who gets to write the rules, who gets to decide which actions are noble and which are criminal. And let me tell you something, the people who make those rules, they aren't saints. They aren't pure or righteous. They're just the ones who climbed high enough to dictate the terms, the ones who ensured that the system worked in their favor. I used to believe in their rules. I really did. I used to think that if you were good, truly good, then life would reward you for it. That kindness and fairness would bring happiness. That if I smiled enough, if I tried hard enough, if I played by their rules, I would finally be accepted. But that was a joke, a cruel, twisted joke, because the world doesn't care about goodness. The world only cares about power. I learned that the hard way. I learned that no matter how much you give, no matter how much you try, if you don't fit into their perfect little mold, you're an outsider. And outsiders, we don't get happy endings. We don't get to be the heroes of the story. We're the ones they laugh at, the ones they push aside, the ones they forget. But here's where it gets interesting. The moment I stopped playing by their rules, the moment I stopped caring about being good by their definition, that's when everything changed. That's when I started to see the cracks in their perfect little system. You see, once you strip away the illusion, once you understand that good and evil are just tools used to keep people in check, you start to realize the truth. The only thing that really matters is power. The power to define the narrative, the power to shape reality, the power to decide who gets to be the hero and who gets cast as the villain. And the strong, the winners, They make sure the rules always favor them. They decide who gets to be good and who gets to be evil. And they make damn sure that anyone who challenges them gets labeled as a threat. Think about it. They tell you that crime is evil, that breaking the rules makes you a bad person. But who wrote those rules? Who decided what should and shouldn't be allowed? Was it someone noble? Someone with pure intentions? Or was it just another person trying to keep control? You see it all the time. The same actions that are condemned when committed by the weak are celebrated when committed by the strong. A man steals food for his starving family, and he's a criminal. But a corporation steals from millions, and they call it business. A soldier kills in the name of his country, and he's a hero. But if a man fights back against his oppressors, he's a terrorist. The rules don't matter. The labels don't matter. The only thing that matters is who holds the pen, who gets to write the story. And what about justice? What about fairness? Those are just illusions too. They give people the false hope that the world is balanced, that there's some grand cosmic scale weighing right and wrong. But the truth is the scales are rigged, always have been, always will be. Justice isn't blind, it's bought and sold like everything else in this world. And fairness? Fairness is just a story they tell you to keep you quiet, to keep you from realizing that the game is rigged against you from the start. So I ask you again, what is good? What is evil? Who decides? The answer is simple. The ones with the power, the ones who win. They write the history books, they control the media, they shape the laws. They decide what's acceptable and what's not. And anyone who dares to step outside their system, anyone who refuses to follow their script, well, they're the ones who get labeled as monsters. But here's the thing. I don't care about their labels anymore. I don't care about their rules, because I've seen the truth. I've seen behind the curtain. And I know that if you want to survive in this world, if you want to be free, you have to stop worrying about being good. You have to stop caring about their definitions of right and wrong. Because the moment you stop playing their game, the moment you stop chasing their approval, that's when you truly become free. That's when you take back control. So tell me, my friend, are you going to keep believing in their fairy tales? Are you going to keep playing by their rules? Or are you finally ready to see the world for what it really is?